This was predicted, and it's time to prepare now. But I want you to take a deep breath. This is truly nothing new under the sun. And if you understand at a deep level, you can prepare your family for generational wealth. But if we keep repeating the same cycle and we don't rewire the foundation, we're going to end up in the exact same situation. Stop waiting for somebody to come save you. It's your actions, your behavior. So in this video today, I'm going to break down Ray Dalio's Changing World Order and the exact science of what we're experiencing in America and globally. There's a global transformation in the financial system. I want to make it very clear. I will never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. You are not communicating with me. We have an education platform. Our foundation is the 120-day challenge and our 5 pillars of wealth. That's in the description of this video and in my social media platforms. It is an education platform. We've helped over 7,000 people. I'm also a licensed insurance agent. I have licensed insurance agents in all 50 states. You can set up a free consultation and we teach you tax code 7702, how we secure, compound, and retire tax free. So if you're worried about your 401k and you want to see other options, it's a free conversation and consultation. It could be 4 conversations to really help you understand how to transform your life in the greatest economic times in the world. So let's dive right into it. So if you've been following my channel, I'm a huge fan of Ray Dalio, okay? The reason why is because the way my logical circuit works, I really resonate with the way he does things. He went back, if you have not got the book, it's right in front of me right here, The Changing World Order. He goes back 500 years and he looks at the rise and fall of superpowers, and we are experiencing all right now. Very, very important to understand this. But in the greatest collapses in history, the biggest wealth is built and the strongest people are built. So if you don't rewire the foundation, your family's going to be in the exact same situation. So we're going to watch this clip from a Forbes video. This is a rise and power decline of the empire. So listen to what he says. I'm going to show you the changing world order, and I'm going to break down what Ray Dalio said about a digital coin and show you the IMF, BRICS, and the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, the banks of banks, what they're doing.
So let's quickly touch on, you talk about the rise of a power or an empire. It peaks and then it declines. Walk us, pick the Dutch or any empire, walk us through those kinds of phases and what we can expect.
Okay. An order, when I say a world order or a domestic order, is the way you're operating, the system that you're operating on.
How people
and they
work
change.
with each other.
Well, in other words, 1945 we began a new world order. Or in some countries, they changed their domestic order. They have a revolution. But there's always a war at the beginning, some kind of conflict at the beginning, and the system changes. Okay.
So key, there's a conflict in the beginning and the system changes. Okay. Russia invaded Ukraine. We protected Ukraine. We are now sending weapons over to Taiwan. We found out China's in a bad financial position. America's in a bad financial position. And when there's change coming, we go to war.
1945, we have a war. There are new winners of the war, whether that's domestic or internally, there's a war. And now the new folks are in charge. And they then determine what's going to happen. They set the rules. The United States, since 45, we've been the American world order. The reason the United Nations, IMF, World Bank are in the United States is because of that. The reason the current dollar is the world's reserve currency is because of that. They set the rules. Over that period of time, then you don't go into a war. You have a period of rebuilding and then usually a period of prosperity because nobody wants to go into war again. And then so you begin this cycle. And in that cycle, then, to take you through very quickly, that has higher levels of productivity and so on. Basics matter. Things like education. And when I say education,
well, just for the audience sake, Ray's come up with 8.
Okay, so basically, if you watch the whole video, let's go into the diagram. Okay, so this is for Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, okay? So if you look at this, it's really easy for us to see in the understanding that we have that we're in 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 13 is large debts. America's buried in debt. Printing of money. We printed more money than in history over the past 36 months. Internal conflict. Now Americans are turning against each other. Left versus right, the ESG agenda, transgender, all this stuff. So everybody's fighting against each other. Loss of reserve currency. And I want to make this very clear. People keep putting out, I'm not saying the dollar is going to collapse tomorrow, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with it. But the dollar is losing its dominance. The central banks of the central banks are decreasing their holdings of treasuries of the US dollar. The dollar since 1913 has literally collapsed in its value. Every dollar in the debt is every dollar in the system is someone else's debt. Number 17, we have weak leadership. That's up to you. What do you think? Do we have weak leadership right now? And 18 is civil war and revolution. Now, what you're seeing is Americans going against each other. We are now pointing out each other's differences. We're reverting back to the 1940s, 1950s. So what you're going to see is you're going to see an economic collapse. You're going to see a war narrative, a global war narrative, and then you're going to see a change in a financial system. It's the same cycle every single time. And there's a few of us that are investing in the new monetary system that you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop the digitization of money. You're not going to stop the tokenization of the markets. It is here to stay. So pay attention. So listen to what Ray Dalio just said recently about the idea of a digital coin.
If you want a digital currency, you have to deal something different. I don't think that the stable coins are good because then you're getting a fiat currency again. I think that what would be best is an inflation-linked coin.
Right.
In other words, something where basically you would say, okay, this is going to give me buying power, because every individual wants, what do they want? They want to secure their buying power.
Right.
If you want to save. Now, if you put it in Bitcoin, it goes like this. Who knows what happens?
Right.
If you put it into something, the closest thing to that is an inflation index bond and so on. But if you created a coin that says, okay, this is buying power that I know I could save in and put my money in over a period of time, and then I can transact in anywhere, I think that
Sounds like XRP maybe?
would be a good coin. So I think you're going to see probably the development of coins that you haven't seen that probably will end up being attractive, viable coins. I don't think Bitcoin is it.
All right. So Bitcoin is going to be a store of value, 100%. I mean, we already kind of know that. Obviously, he says cash is trash. He talks about gold, silver. He's also heavily weighted in the foreign markets. So Warren Buffett backed out of America, went into Japan, right? He increased his position in Apple and Bank of America and reduced his position in 2020 with all the other banks. And he went foreign. Ray Dalio's heavily invested in China. So they're all moving out of America because they know what's coming, guys. So this is what's happening. IMF approach to central bank digital currencies, April 11, 2023. The global central bank community is actively exploring central bank digital currencies, which may have a fundamental impact on both domestic, international, economic, financial stability. We've been reporting this for the last couple of weeks. We know that BRICS expanded their global GDP. They expanded their global presence from 43% and adding 6 new countries to that, now larger than America's global population or dominant population. So BRICS Pay is a central bank digital currency. BRICS Pay is a joint venture between the 5 BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And now they added 6 other countries that was launched in 2018. The BRICS Council, among the top priorities annual report, the team is behind this venture consists of individuals of all 5 countries. Now we have 6 countries added, include as experts in payments, banking, technology, and other related fields. They're responsible for developing the platform, creating new features, and providing customer support. Additionally, team is responsible for managing relationships, partners with government and stakeholders. BRICS Pay is a digital payment platform that is being jointly developed by the member countries of BRICS. Okay, BRICS aims to enable digital payments between different countries in BRICS Plus format, allowing businesses and consumers to securely, seamlessly receive payments in their local currency. The platform is designed to reduce the cost of complexity of international payments, while also providing a secure, reliable way to pay for goods and services. And we know the BIS Innovation Hub, which is right here, the Bank of International Settlements, interest in CBDC has grown in responses to the change in payments, finance and technology, as well as disruptions caused by the C word. BIS survey central banks found that 86% are actively researching the potential and 60% were experimenting with the technology and 14% were deploying into pilot projects. And I have shown you recently, they're moving from pilot to implementation. Okay, it's here, family. The transition is here. Okay, you're going to see a problem that creates a reaction in the people, and that maybe the same person that came up with the problem comes up with a solution. This is nothing new under the sun. This happens in the macro all the time, over and over again. Jesus was flipping over the bankers and the money changers 3 days before he was crucified. So what would you do? Would you keep following this big macro cycle and go fight an invisible enemy that's getting you to fight against each other? Or would you fix the microcosm inside of you, reconnect back to your ether, self-development, education, rewiring the foundation, and understanding there is no invisible enemy, it's you against you, casting out judgment of others and focusing on the darkness inside of yourself. And once you focus on the darkness inside of yourself, you'll start to see that it's you stopping you. There is no president coming back to save you guys. I'm sorry. You know, will Trump be better for policies and global cooperation and financially? Absolutely. We're in a much better position financially when Trump was president. But listen, guys, it's a corporation. America's a corporation. They are the president, CEO of a corporation. It is a business. It is not non-for-profit, right? And you are not an employee, guys. You are the CEO of your life. God is my CEO. Jesus is my manager. I like that. So I'm going to follow the life of Jesus. I'm going to love God with all my heart. Therefore, I'm going to love humanity as I love God. I'm going to treat others as I want to be treated. I'm going to pull the log out of my eye before I pull the straw out of yours. It is the greatest time in human history. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.